Hey, Kakarot's having one of his tantrums again. Hey guys, DB Right here, and today we are back with an all-new What If. This time, I am wanting to explore what might happen if Goku was born like Broly. To start off this story, this would of course mean we'll be following more the Dragon Ball Minus storyline. Because when I say what if Goku was like Broly, I'm talking about like the reboot Broly. Alright, so we begin with Goku being born. And unlike Broly, his latent potential actually slips past the medical examiners and the people who scan the children's power levels. Every time they'd read Goku's power level, it would just come up 1. So, because of that, Goku actually slips past. Unlike Colonel Paragus' son Broly, Goku was, or rather Kakarot, was allowed to go home with his parents, Bardock and Gine. Every time Goku's power would actually rise to that of his actual latent potential is due to him getting upset or crying or maybe having a nightmare or something like that. But without the readers, they don't know Goku's latent potential. They don't know that his power level is actually rising in there. And of course, quickly going back when Kakarot gets over whatever it is it's bugging him. How are they not noticing that? Well, who knows? Maybe Gine's watching Space Hulu or Space Netflix or something. So then we come to the part where Bardock has come home from his mission and he's beginning to suspect that Frieza is about to destroy the planet, and he talks Gine into sending Kakarot off-world, stealing a space pod for him, and they send him off just like they do in the original. And of course, Frieza does make good on what Bardock predicted and destroy planet Vegeta, along with Bardock and Gine and every other Saiyan unfortunate enough to be on the planet at the time. Vegeta, Nappa and Raditz, being the only ones who refused the recall order, meant they of course still survive. Meanwhile, Kakarot has since landed on Earth, and he is found by Grandpa Gohan. Oh, hello there, little fella. Huh. What are you doing out here all alone? But Kakarot is just crying and that upset that something comes over the child. His power level rises, and of course Grandpa Gohan, being trained by Roshi, senses this, but it's too late for him to do anything about it. Kakarot has fired a ki blast and has blasted a hole in the old man's chest. Grandpa Gohan has died. And this, of course, would mean that Goku's name, well, he doesn't become Goku. This actually means that Goku stays Kakarot, and this also means that the fall into that canyon where Goku hits his head and becomes a good guy doesn't happen. So this version of the character is still going to be evil. He's going to have his evil Saiyan natures and still be programmed with his primary mission. What? Destroy all life on this planet. And rest assured, the kid is pretty good at this. When he does whatever he can't do on his own, whenever he gets pressured, his latent potential kicks in because he can, just like Broly, he can't control it. And he pretty much levels anything that gets in his path. Anything. And he is destroying village after village. Not even Oolong survived. Eventually, he does get to the first opponent who could actually challenge him somewhat, and that is the Ox King. Kakarot battling one-on-one with the Ox King, and it's actually a pretty good fight until Kakarot starts getting into the fight, because just like Broly, Kakarot has the potential to learn as he fights. He's picking up all of these different moves, these different ways of fighting, and of course his potential getting stronger and stronger every time, he is making short work of even the Ox King. What about Chi-Chi? Chi-Chi actually survives. She manages to escape. So don't worry, Chi-Chi fans. Kakarot has not killed off Chi-Chi. Yet. Eventually, Kakarot does come across Emperor Pilaf's palace, who's been going around looking for the Dragon Balls. And Kakarot, being sort of curious and mostly hungry, because this isn't the first sort of, I guess you could say, rich person place that he's conquered that has had lots of food. So Goku's thinking, okay, I will wipe out whoever's in there and eat their food. And he actually breaks into the palace, and he ends up on in that same sort of maze that his original counterpart does with Bulma and the gang. Now this time, Goku's not looking for Dragon Balls. He doesn't even know about the Dragon Balls. He's just fulfilling his mission of destroying the planet. And well, he's wandering around the maze for a while, and he ends up in that room, and Emperor Pilaf ends up gassing him, as he does. And by the time Kakarot comes to, he's in that room that has got really reinforced walls and the bulletproof glass. And of course, that means Pilaf intends to roast the boy alive when he wakes up. Now why is Pilaf acting like this? He has heard rumours about this boy, that there's this boy with a tail going around terrorising people. So Pilaf's not taking any chances here. And despite Xiao and Mai saying, shouldn't we just let the kid go? He's just a kid. I will do the figure around your show. I want your opinion, I'll ask for it. Kakarot is in fact a Saiyan in this timeline. He is well aware of what the full moon does, and he has used it a couple of times on his journeys. So, he realizes that there's this light shining in from the top of the room. He looks up and he sees the full moon. He's like, Pilaf, you have doomed yourself. And he transforms into the Great Ape transformation, and just like Broly, when he used to transform in Great Ape, Goku would lose all sense of himself and would be really tremendously overpowered. He doesn't only completely wreck Pilaf's castle, he's wrecking everything in sight. Which, mind you, Pilaf's palace is not really much there, but he's definitely scarring up the land. As for Pilaf, Shu, and Mai, do they escape? Yes, they actually do. They do try to combat the beast, but they get knocked out of the sky, much like they do in the original, and they ultimately end up surviving. And by the next day, the full moon's over, and Kakarot changes back into his normal form. Now, you're probably wondering what he's wearing. Well, not being raised by Grandpa Gohan, Goku is still wearing his Saiyan armor that he has in Dragon Ball Minus. So don't worry, we don't got a naked Kakarot running around. We got Kakarot in Saiyan armor in his Great Ape form. You know, this boy is a true Saiyan. So that's all over. The full moon's done the next day, and Goku is eating himself to sleep, helping himself to Emperor Pilaf's food. Surprisingly, Kakarot missed the kitchen, going on his little rampage. And of course, if he was still hungry, there was plenty of Shu's hounds that he could eat. With that, Goku would pretty much... I forget to say Kakarot. Kakarot would then just keep moving along his way, pretty much wiping out anything he sees coming. And with his power, he could actually do this relatively quickly, but Kakarot's kind of enjoying taking his time. Yeah, for a Saiyan, even though he is completing his mission and he's completely evil, and not to mention he's also crazy with power, he is taking his time with it. No rush. You know, where's the fun of ending it quickly? A few months pass, and he's just sort of still wandering around. He actually runs into these villagers who are being terrorized by a very familiar cat-looking creature we know from Dragon Ball. You know, the one who tries to eat turtle? Yeah, this guy is causing trouble for a nearby village, and Kakarot appears before this monster. Oh, you think you're really strong? Let's see how strong you really are. Yeah, right, kid. I could crush you into dust, you little pipsqueak. And, needless to say, our big giant cat-like creature tries, and he is pretty much taken down and killed by Kakarot with one strike. And the villagers actually come out and actually thank Kakarot for what he did, but Kakarot only did this because he was just looking to pick a fight. You know, Saiyans, they like fighting. This guy showing off like he's actually strong. You know, Kakarot's more than happy to put a pretender in his place. I didn't do this to help you. Well, we got our thanks. Anyway, is there anything we can do for you? And Kakarot's stomach starts grumbling. Well, I haven't eaten for a few days. And the village are more than happy to provide him with a bit of a spread. And Goku then, Kakarot then finishes that up, and he actually decides to spare this village because they actually had some pretty decent food. Perhaps he'll come back again and have another helping. Why not? Maybe he'll leave this village till last to destroy. And someone pipes up is going, "Hey, you gonna enter the World Martial Arts Tournament coming up?" The World what now? World Martial Arts Tournament. It's where the best fighters challenge each other to see who's best. I reckon you'd do well in that. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. Where might I find this World Martial Arts Tournament? And they tell him exactly where to go on the whereabouts on the island to go. And Goku starts making his way to the island, and I think that is actually where we're going to leave things for now. So, what do you guys think? Do you like where I'm going with this story? Do you like how Goku is actually Kakarot in this story, and actually pretty much a bad guy at this point of the story, and he has the same type of latent potential that Broly himself had? I reckon this could make for a very interesting story. Anyway, so let me know in the comments, and let's get this discussion going, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, I'll see you later.